This week we came in contact again with an old friend of ours, Inge, that we met last year during Christmas. She's helping at a dog shelter somewhere in Albufeira. So when we heard this, we were immediately enthusiastic to go and help her and go and help the shelter. And yeah, we want to take you on the journey. So let's go there.
And so we did. Portugal is unfortunately still one of the countries that still has a lot of street dogs that need rescuing. Although I have to say that there are not that many dogs on the streets itself, the shelters are often overloaded. The shelter where we are going is the perfect example of this. It has comfortable place for around 50 dogs, but there are over 80 dogs housed there right now. When we arrived, we parked a bit down the road because of all the barking, which could give Leo some unnecessary restlessness. After we put Leo to bed, we were introduced by the shelter to the first dogs, Angel and Tigre, which we confused for Tofu a bit. These two are super well behaved, and you could immediately notice that they were happy to leave the chaos for a bit and go on an adventure.
So we got the first two doggies. This is Angel. Angel's a sweetie pie. And Tofu is also a sweetie pie. They are like Bonnie and Clyde, Juice and Crime. And they are really sweet. Whenever they walk, they always walk next to each other. So it's really cute to see. We suspect that this is like the introductionary couple before we get to the bit more energetic, bit more crazy dogs. But they're really lovable. The shelter looks really good. It looks really well taken care of. Yeah, today is a bit finding our place and seeing where we can help.
The cool thing about this place, in my opinion, is their welcoming mindset towards people who want to help. As soon as you set foot in this place, you notice that everyone works hard to take care of these dogs. But all you need to do to help is ask the people here and they will find you something to do. This is not always the case in every shelter that you come across. But this place welcomes everyone who wants to help with open arms. They are also super open to hear your suggestions and are always open to discuss what's best for the dogs. Sitting with them next to the fence or going out for a walk, it really doesn't matter. As long as the dogs are priority number one.
So that was something. I just finished the day. There isn't really an end or a beginning to the day at the shelter. All the volunteers are here to help socialize and help walk the dogs. So that's a really nice activity to do with them. You just take them on a walk, give them some cuddles, and then they'll be happier for the next day. But of course, you can't help them all. And like more than half of the dogs that are in the shelter are either too, well, I want to say crazy or too restless. Too restless to walk with, or the risk is too big. So it is a shame that all the dogs that are calm and happy are kind of the dogs that don't really need the extra attention. You can take those for a walk, but the dogs that do need extra attention, the anxious and stressed out and restless dogs, they're too big of a risk, so you can't really take them for a walk, which is a shame, but it's also really logical. If you would take every dog on a walk, then there would be an incident, a biting incident every other day. So it's hard to see that exactly those dogs who you really want to help and who you really want to give some love, you can't really help them. So feels a bit shitty, but this is one of the best shelters I have ever seen, maybe even the best shelter. I thought in the Netherlands we were really well in animal health and animal care, but this shelter in Portugal amazes me every time I see it and every time I walk around it. So big compliments to Tinyshelter in Portugal.
The unique thing about this shelter is the opportunity for the dogs to run around daily. Here are the enclosures, and right next to them are grass fields. Every 3 hours the dogs are brought back to their enclosures and another group of dogs gets their enclosure opened, so every dog gets enough exercise daily without having to move them one by one. Besides that are all the gates to the shelter itself or to the enclosures equipped with double doors, so that no dog can accidentally escape. Again, this shelter is one of the most modern and clean shelters I've ever seen, and all the dogs look like they are being well taken care of. All the dogs even have their own beautiful nameplate. This is all thanks to the hard work of the amazing people here. Please support them with a donation. If there's ever a place where it won't go to waste, it's here.
The place needs donations, so please guys, I know we don't have a big following, but please help if you can. They do amazing stuff with every cent that you give them, even if it's just €1. I'll post everything, where you can find them, where you can donate to them, where you can contact them if you want to help them for a longer period of time than we can. Please do, because they do amazing stuff.